Hey, I'm back, and I am going over the purple packet still and going over the Operon stuff, which hopefully will only take a couple of minutes. And didn't plan that, but I'm wearing my powder puff shirt, which is a little bit of proof that at one point school was actually in session and going on. So I thought I'd add this to the slideshow just for that fond memory that at one point we were actually in school doing stuff that was awesome and things weren't crazy like they are now. But guess what? I'm going to make things even more intolerable by going over something that we all hate, which is the Lac Operon. Now, I'm going to also then go to this picture here, which should bring back some memories if you took my class. Now, if you haven't taken my class, you're looking at this and you have no idea what these pictures mean. We have Stitch, we have an ice cream cone, we have a garbage bag. Well, I told you guys how I had a student years ago who thought she had a problem with her Lac Operon because when she ate lactose, she got very sick, and she talked about a story how she went to the movies. I won't go into the details, but she went to the movies with her uncle to see Lilo and Stitch, and she had some ice cream, and she got very ill in the theater where they required garbage bags on their way out. To relive the memories. So either way, I kept on saying like the whole point of that story was not to talk about some girl's misfortunate event that happened at Marquee Cinema or wherever she saw the movie. The whole point of that was to say like, honey, no offense, you don't have anything wrong with your Lac Operon because we don't have Lac Operons. In fact, if you take a look at this, and I'm going to try pulling this up right here. Oops, sorry, you can tell I'm just getting my jitters out here. Hold on. You can tell if you take a look, this is in bacteria. So only bacteria have operons. So let's take a look at a couple of these things. This was a section of a Lac Operon, and again, it is in bacteria. It is not in you. And I did say, hey, I labeled the 6 through 8 are the structural genes. I thought I'd help you out. Now, if you're like, oh, he didn't help me out at all. You guys remember in class, like I probably took someone's last name, like Farafemia, and changed it to Femiates. And I changed Mike Geddes. Hey, I miss you guys, by the way. Into, oh, look at that, I just wrote down Geddes, into like Geddes. And the whole point was like, look, these enzymes have these crazy names, and you don't have to know what they do. You just have to know that they're responsible for breaking down lactose. So it makes sense that if lactose was here, we'd want to break it down. So if lactose was present, guess what? We want Femiase and we want Gedase. Well, guess what? Right now, as we look at this, these would not be produced. And if you're wondering why they would not be produced, it's because this thing here, which is an enzyme called RNA polymerase, is being blocked. And it is being blocked by this structure here, which is called a repress. Oh, God almighty. It is called a, oh, I did it again. What is wrong with me? Let me write it over here. It is a repressor. And the repressor is there. I know I'm writing so terrible, but it's repressor, trust me. That repressor is there to block RNA polymerase. So right now this gene is, as we see this gene right now, for all intents and purposes, is shut off. Now, if you're like, oh, that's how we shut off our Lac Operon, we don't have it. We don't have a Lac Operon. This, again, is for bacteria. It's how bacteria moderate their gene expression. It's how they turn genes on and off. So again, right now we wouldn't have Femiase and Gedase because that repressor protein is blocking RNA polymerase. So right now we would have no transcription. And you should know now that RNA polymerase is used for transcription to make an RNA. No RNA, no protein. Okay, let's look at the next one. Well, guess what we have now? Okay, so now we have lactose is in the house. It ends in OSE. So we know that it is a sugar. And if you take a look at your picture is different than mine. See, you know what I should do is I should have you pause the screen and then take a look at the picture and take a look at this. If you take a look, yours looks like this. I tried to shade it in so that it looked like this could no longer attach. So what we have now, if you take a look, is the RNA polymerase is free to do its job. And the reason why it's free to do its job, it's free to go through and make Femiase and Gedase and Malagase or whatever enzymes we talked about. But it can do that job because the repressor is being changed, and it's actually being changed what we call allosterically. So now, therefore, this RNA polymerase right here is happy as a clam. It's going to go ripping through right here, and it's going to make all those enzymes to break down lactose. So it says that this can no longer, structure 2 can no longer bind to 4. What operon is being shown? This is the Lac operon. What is molecule 5 known as? We would call it lactose, but we could also call it an inducer. And I'm not sure if you remember the example I gave in class with an inducer, but I said, like, for example, if you wanted to induce pregnancy for a woman who is like, let's say a woman is 40 weeks pregnant, and they want to induce because the baby's getting too big, they would start pregnancy. Well, that's what this inducer does. It starts making these enzymes because it shuts down the shutoff switch. It shuts off the repressor. So Lac operon, really good chance you could see it on the AP exam, just letting you know. But here's the good news for anybody who's watching this right now and they're like, oh God, I hate this thing. I don't think the Lac operon has ever been on where they had you label everything. Like, they sometimes give you a key that actually explains what everything is. So hopefully it's not too much of an issue. Okay, so we don't do that because guess what? You are a eukaryote. So if you don't remember, what we do is, I had a tape in class. I had a cassette in class, and I made fun of everybody. I said, no one knows what this is. It's a cassette. It's got music on it. And some people, I think Madison Kazera knew what it was. And I was really impressed that she actually knew what a tape was. And I talked about how, like, the only way we can read our DNA is nice and loose. Just like in a cassette has to kind of be unthreaded before it's read. It's the same thing that we have in our DNA. So euchromatin is the real super loose DNA, and that is bueno. That is good. We can read that. Whereas heterochromatin is the kind that's really kind of like really tight. So it's like the kind that you would see like right here, like on the spool. Oh, I just spit really bad. Thank God you're not here. What is DNA methylation? DNA methylation is going to be, that is going to be what wraps up that DNA. It wraps it up around what we call histones, which are little tiny proteins. And I said, I used the example in class, probably not the best example. I said, think of the word meth. I said, if you were on meth, you would be non-functional and tightly wound up. And that's exactly what we have here with DNA methylation. We wind up the DNA real tight, and it's not functional. It has to be loose to be functional. So DNA methylation, I don't know if you'll see that on the AP exam, but you should certainly see Lac operon. I mean, I know you never know what you're going to get, right? The only other thing I'm going to go over real quick is I want to show you the answers on the very last page, and just so that you guys can take a look. And the reason why I'm doing this, if you're like, wait a minute, I had questions at the bottom of that one page. I had some other questions. What's going on? I got to be honest with you. Mutations are a must know. You must know mutations. You have to know them. Missense, nonsense, oh my God, did I say nonsense? Nonsense, frame shift, these are all super important. And if you take a look, you can see what we have here. CAC codes for a different amino acid. I think it's histidine, whereas this is leucine. I don't know, check it out. But either way, this one here, this mutation that we have is a missense mutation. And the only reason why I'm taking the time to go to this last page and explain it real well is because you should know the mutations. You need to know missense, nonsense, frame shift. I don't think you'll have to know silent, but the other ones you should definitely know. So I hope this helps you a little bit on Operon. I know it's a little bit of a shorter video, but let's face facts. You guys probably don't want to sit down and watch hours of review, and we're kind of getting to the point now where we should probably start moving on to other things. So I'll probably tape another lesson tonight. So if you see me in the same shirt for another lesson, I think I'll tape one more, even though I won't load it for a little while. I'm going to end this the way I end every single one. Miss you guys. Wish we were in school. See ya.